Perfect, mate. Hey, how are you? You well?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm doing good.
Look, thank you so much for doing this again. With me, we had some technical difficulties the first time around, but it's good to see you about I don't know a week later.
Honestly, I'm very happy able to make it today. Yeah, you can see me fine now.
Yeah, perfect.
Good. That's good. I really appreciate it.
Mun cinye su mun kora su na rantse da Allah don uwarsu mun kora su dan burau ba sun gudu sun bar ladan su ba ku ba kayan.
Yeah. Look, let's just jump straight into, I guess, the beginning, and I just sort of want you to introduce, I guess, who you are and where you are currently.
All right. I'm Lance Corporal Abubakar Afan from Northeast Nigeria, a Nigerian Special Force currently in the battlefield.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
where did you grow up? And how far are you from your home now?
Oh, wow, wow, wow. I almost am 500 miles away from my hometown.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
wow. And what
Yeah.
made you join the military and especially the special forces?
Yeah, I was. That's a long time being since I was in primary school. I really want to join the military. I was telling my dad I want to be a military officer. He was encouraging me like, "Can you do it? Military work is very hard." I said, "Yeah, I can do it. I've already made up my mind." Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what made me to join the army, and I love being a special force, which is the dream that I'm living in now.
Yeah. Yeah. And can you tell me what your day to day is like being in the Nigerian special forces?
Well, Nigerian Special Force, we are very good. We are very good, well trained, different kind of forces. Most of us were trained with U.S. Rangers, British Special Forces. We are trained with different kind of special forces.
Yes. And your battles are mostly with ISIS. Um, can you tell me about the influence that ISIS has had in Nigeria since you've been in the special forces?
Well, ISIS campaign was long-term goal of the terrorists, which they have been doing it. So we are able to counter like 75% out of their able campaigns.
Yes. So when did ISIS come into Nigeria and start having influence to the degree that yourself and the other members of the special forces have had to go on these like kill capture missions that I've seen you part of?
Well, ISIS, most of the terrorists that were here before, like, I don't know, maybe if you heard about Boko Haram insurgent,
No, I haven't. Can you explain that to us?
or, all right, the Boko Haram insurgents, later 2020, later 2020, they pledged allegiance to ISIS, where they embarked most of their foreign fighters to come and support them in the western Nigeria.
Yeah, right. And how many people did that was took part in that allegiance?
Wow, like thousands of people play allegiance to ISIS
Yes.
after the late of their commander, which is Abubakar Shekau. I don't know, maybe if you heard about him.
No, I haven't. Can you tell me about himself?
Abubakar Shekau was a brutal and mad commander of the jihadist group, which is the leader who kidnapped Chibok girls in 2014 and still kidnapped the Dapchi girls in 2000 and, in 2021, 2021, he still kidnapped the Tigers. I don't know if you heard about them.
No, I haven't. Look, this is all new to myself, part of Nigeria, and the reason I follow you on social media and I love following you and everything you and your team do is it's not really shared by the media. And the reason I
Oh my God.
wanted to talk to you today was basically to talk about what's happening there, because in the media, there's one war, and that war is in Ukraine, where either what I want to really talk about is what's happening with you guys, and you know, it's just sort of unknown, but it is so hectic.
Honestly, there is no that is no like no less than 10% of people in the West know about our fight. If you as a journalist you say you don't know about Abubakar Shekau, which is the brutal leader who has been a terrorist for a long time, been terrorizing the wild West African, and you say you don't know him, what about an average Europe man who doesn't even come up with media or check up BBC or CNN or some other media? No. That means nobody knows about our fight. Honestly, I am really appreciate that you come up with this idea that we can be able to share this awareness in the West, so that many people will know that this is what is happening in West Africa.
Yes, and you and I have talked at length before about that. Soon, eventually, I'll actually come in person and do this with you and your team, and that will be even better than online. That I'll come over there, so that'll be fantastic as well, to tell that
Definitely it
story.
will. Definitely it will.
Yeah. So
Honestly, I'm surprised if you as a journalist who have been in overseas doing your job and you don't even know about Abubakar Shekau, who is the brutal leader of terrorists in the wild West African. What about an average Europe man? You can't even, if he told me that he don't know about him, I won't surprise, because you as a journalist that you have been working across the nations in Europe, don't know about Abubakar Shekau. He is brutal, like Abubakar al-Baghdadi. They are the same faith.
mm,
They did murder innocent children, kill kill young youths, kill pregnant children. Honestly, they are very brutal.
yes, and can you tell me about some of these brutalities that you are seeing?
Some of what?
Can you explain to me and the listeners some of the brutalities that these men are doing?
Yeah, I will tell you. Most of people they used to kidnap people, rape them. After raping, they used to kidnap people and force them to marry at early age of 13 to 14 years, which is not done in Islam, to force person to marry to get married to a terrorist and get married to a terrorist. All this is prohibited,
Yes, and
which
then
that
you're
is what the terrorists were doing.
yes, and I've seen some footage on your Instagram, and I'll link your Instagram below for anyone interested, of you raiding like prisons, like camps where they've had like soldiers in cages and things like that. Can you tell me about that?
About, sorry, come again.
That they've had like soldiers kept in cages, and people in makeshift prisons,
So soldiers keep in
like a cage, like caged like an animal.
that hide like an animal.
No, caged, like kept in almost a jail.
Okay, that kept in jail.
Yes, that they
Oh,
have
all right, yeah,
makeshift prisons,
yeah,
jails for members that they've captured of like your unit or other civilians.
yeah. We have one person who we rescued him later, 20, later this um December 2021, who we rescued him when we are on operation. He was kept there for with more than 70 innocent.
Can you just tell me the story about your gentleman being in the ISIS prison.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The soldier was Private Muhammad, who was on transit, going to visit his family after being in operation for more than 4 months. So he was kidnapped along the way from Maiduguri to Yobe Road. So the ISIS blocked the way and kidnapped the wild boss with the civilians and the soldiers. They later found out that this guy is a soldier. They have to separate him from the civilians and kept him where they used to keep the male and separate the male and the females. They kept him where they used to keep the male for after before they let their boss know, because they used to film the soldiers and slaughter them. So unfortunately, we are on operation for a week clearance operation. So we are advancing clearance and attacking camps. So unfortunately, we got near to the camp and we found out from some of the villagers there, they let us know that there is an ISIS camp ahead of us, a kilometer ahead of us. So we have to be in a single line formation for the advance. We set our FPCs at the front. Before 30 miles, we got contact with them. We fought for like 30 minutes. We fought like for 30 minutes. We have to withdraw because of the firepower are reinforced in the night. When we are reinforced in the night, we come, start clearing from left and right, start bombarding from the artillery shells. We are able to reach out the camp because the people in the capacity, the eminence are many. The eminence are many, more than 70 civilians, as I told you, with the soldiers. The soldier was in the camp. They gave him an uniform to wear so that they would be easy to identify him. But due to the firepower of our forces, they can't be able to release any of the eminence to run with them. They later pull out of the camp and run and leave all those prisoners. That is where we got to rescue the soldier. He stays there for more than 2 months in their capacity. I will forward you the video. It's in my page. I will forward you the video of the soldier.
Yeah, I'd love to see that video. So he was held there for 2 months until your team did a clearing patrol and pulled him out.
Yeah, he was held for 2 months.
That's it. That's just incredible. And the other 70 civilians, you rescued them as well?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And what sort of conditions were they living in under ISIS control?
Yeah, they chained them. They chained the males and leave the females, which the part of the females, they were using them for sex in the night. They will come and pick like 5 females, 7 females when I have sex with them, try to tell them that they should come and fight for God. They are doing it for God. They are not doing it for themselves. So they should join heads together and fight for God. That's what they usually tell the women, so that they will be able to brainwash them. But unfortunately, the women didn't cooperate with them. The females refused to cooperate with them.
Yes, that's just horrific conditions and just humanitarian disaster. How much Western support have you got in Nigeria currently?
Well, honestly, not that enough. Like I said, we have less attention because many people, all eyes in Ukraine and Russian conflict. Nobody cares to, okay, let me check on Nigerian forces or Nigerian government. Let us render them support about this conflict, ongoing conflict, because we have been fighting since 2009. The fight did not start today. This is a long war that we are fighting since 2009. We thank God that we are able to counter, as I said, more than 75% of the activities. We are able to dismantle it.
Yeah, so since 2009, you have been conducting combat operations against ISIS with, am I correct in saying not very much support?
Yeah, definitely. There's no much base.
Yeah. And what sort of support would you need to dismantle ISIS in Nigeria? Is it, to the degree of NATO forces also coming in, or are your units capable of that alone with extra time and support?
Well, we are capable to we are determined to dismantle their activities in our country. I think if any country or any organization wants to help the Nigerian government in this ongoing counter-insurgency, I think it will be supported with drones. I think drones are very important in this conflict because you can be able to film ahead of you before you advance or before you went out on any mission. And you can be able to carry out any attack with drones. I think they are very important, honestly.
Yes. Yes. No, that's it's true what you say that a lot of eyes are on Ukraine, and I see a lot of your posts on Instagram being about like, hey, look, I know this is happening and it's shocking, but this has been happening here for since 2009, now for 13 years.
Honestly.
Yeah.
Honestly. We have less attention, like nobody cares about the conflict because I believe most of the international leaders are aware. They are aware of this. Maybe some other people don't know, but the international leaders are aware that they can be able to help the Nigerian government.
And why do you think it is that they're not helping you?
Well, I didn't see any foreign support. Like maybe I see like maybe drones that I see like maybe drones that were donated to Nigeria to help counter the insurgency. I didn't see, but I've seen many sending to Ukraine or other countries that are facing other conflict challenges.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it's very difficult, a very difficult situation. And how often currently are you coming into contact with ISIS, with the enemy?
Wow, I've been fighting for long, so I have many combat experience. Currently now, I'm still writing a book about the experience, which still have more than 50 soldiers who has gunshots in the field. I still have their stories in my book.
And can you tell us a few of those stories?
The stories is very long, honestly, because presently I have 175 pages now, but I'm still writing up to now.
Oh wow, that's incredible.
Yeah. Some more than 50 soldiers who have gunshot. Some are disabled. Some, honestly, brutal wound. Most of them, I have their stories in my book.
Yes, that's fantastic. And do you have a favorite story that you've written?
I don't think. I think that yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you have one that stands out to you?
One what?
A story that stands out to you?
Story of
like, do you have a story that stands out to you that you could share with us?
Yeah, I have.
Would you like to tell us?
All right. Later March this year, we were aside from patrol along Maiduguri to Yobe Road. So we went on escort patrol to bring more special forces who were injected into the theater operation. So we went out by 1400 hours. So on our way going, our vehicle has issues. We were able to fix it by 1500 hours. We took our zoning, clearing the road, filming the ahead of us as usual as we used to do. So we went and delivered the message successfully. On our way coming back, my gun truck was ahead. So we are moving because the driver is running at 120. So as we are moving, because I don't have glass at that spot. So as we are moving, most of the bridge were facing me. So as we are moving, I saw an ISIS gun truck by our right hand side because it's a two-lane road.
Yeah.
I saw an ISIS gun truck, but they were all full dressed as military dress with their full camo. You won't even differentiate that those are the terrorists.
Mm.
We passed, my gun trail was in the front, so we passed, and the second one passed, not knowing that we are attacking an location checkpoint ahead of us. We don't know. They are attacking a location, so they fix their ambush. We be able to beat the ambush without any exchanging of fire. After we passed the vehicle that I told you by our left hand side, the next thing I had was gunshot with an AK. The jihadis open fire. Pop, 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 pop. The next thing I turned was because I'm a gunner at that time. I'm firing NSBT gun, anti-aircraft.
Mm.
So
Wow.
I had a gunshot with AK. I know that a professional soldier will not open rapidly and be firing at his comrade or something like that. They will know the shot I had. I know that this shot is from the terrorist because it is evening time. I know that that moment we are suspecting anything in that road. So the gunshot I had, I know that this is the terrorist. I turned my gun and test them, start engaging them, not knowing that two gun trolls are coming in front of me. I don't even know. But the people in my back saw them. They were like typing me, check your phone, check your phone, check your phone. The next thing as I turned, I saw three gun trolls coming. Three gun trolls of the ISIS are coming to my direction. We are the distance between me and them is not up to 70 meters. Honestly, that day I already give up that I will not make it. Honestly, because the distance is just 70 meters between me and them. As we are exchanging fire, I pinned them down, start firing them. Every volume of fire, I was able to succeed. I killed 7 among in that gun top. Unfortunately, my rounds finished. As my rounds finished, my gun has stoppages. I was able to open the top cover to put rounds. I cocked the gun hooked. As the gun hooked, some of them in the other two gun top, some of them I saw the RPG man take cover. He want to launch our vehicle. I quickly jumped. I tell the other guys that, gentlemen, take cover. Gentlemen, take cover. That's how, because it's open ground, open and flat ground. Then, gentlemen, take cover, take cover. I jump on the vehicle. I hit my nail on the ground. That's how I took my AK. I started running. They are chasing us, firing, chasing or firing. I have to pull out my jacket because there are more magazines and ammo. That's how we chat through into the forest before the other last contact behind us able to call for an airstrike. That's how we take escape because honestly, I already give up that I will not make it that day. Honestly.
That's incredible.
This was that is very bad there. We lost 3 men that day. We lost 3 men.
3.
Yeah, we lost 3 persons that day because
Yeah,
it's
wow.
very dangerous. Honestly, that day is the day that I told honestly I will not make it that day because the distance I told you just 70 meters between me and them, and they have 3 vehicles. Me, I have 1 vehicle. Just look at it. They are using 3 vehicles coming, and I have 1 vehicle. That's how I engaged them. I pinned them down. That's how our guys behind be able to turn back to go back because they have many vehicles coming.
Yes.
That's how I jumped because my gun hooked. My gun hooked. That's how I jump. I left the gun. I carry my AK, start running into the forest. The 3 guys. I went to the forest. I deployed them before the airstrike come. Before the airstrike come, we be able to take one of their gun trucks, but the rest have gone. They finally killed 3 of my men and burned one of our car.
Yes.
Honestly, it's a bad day. Honestly, I honestly, it took me more than 2 days. I can't sleep. Honestly, I didn't sleep for 2 days.
Wow. And how many members of your unit have died fighting ISIS since 2009?
We are full battalion. We are full battalion, 800 plus.
800 plus of your men have died since.
No, I mean the full unit. We are 800 plus.
Oh, yes. And do you
Yeah,
have an idea of the casualties you've taken? Like how many men have laid down their life for this cause?
yeah. Honestly, from that 20 um, 2014 till date, we are lost so far we are lost more than 50%, and more than 20 to 15% we are disabled.
Hmm. And how many ISIS members has your unit killed in estimate?
Honestly, we kill thousands. Honestly, we kill thousands of them. Those people are just like evil. You can't even know where they are coming from. They are not even finishing. You kill and kill and kill. You will still see more coming. I don't know how they are doing it, honestly. They are just like evils. Kill and kill and kill. More will still come again.
And do you ever feel remorse for killing?
Okay?
Do you ever feel any like remorse? Do you ever feel bad for killing another man?
No, no, we don't.
Hmm. It's kill or be killed, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Where do you see this conflict going in the next 6 months?
yeah. 6 months.
Where do you think this will lead? What do you think will happen in the next 6 months?
Well, in the next 6 months, I don't think if those people would exist again, because we are have fully fighting for us and full support. We are able, we are determined to dismantle them all. God willing, in the next 6 months, there will be no any incident in Nigeria. God willing, in the next 6 months, we will dismantle all terrorists that are disturbing our country, all terrorists that are coming to fight for nothing, for selfishness. We will dismantle them by God's grace.
Hmm. And you think that will be done within like early 2023?
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Before 2020, in 2020, we will dismantle all terrorists in Nigeria by God's grace.
Yeah, wow, that's an incredible undertaking, incredible task that you're part of. More and more young people being radicalized by ISIS.
Yeah, they are. I don't know how they are lucky to brainwash locals. Well, I think maybe lack of education is part of what they make them succeed in brainwashing innocent people. You know, when you don't have knowledge of something, when someone come and tell you, you can be able to believe him instantly. But when you have knowledge, like maybe you have Western education and religious education, I don't think if someone can be able to come and tell you what you know so that it's false,
Mm.
it won't work. Like I can't tell you that this Zoom is haram and you believe it because you know about it and you have read about it and you know it's a good thing to connect with other person or you or some relatives. So when you have knowledge, no one can come and brainwash you.
Mm. So you think
Yeah,
that education could be the key to solving, I guess, the radicalization of young people in Nigeria?
definitely,
Yeah.
definitely, definitely,
And
definitely.
is the Nigerian government trying to support things for young people?
Yeah, definitely they are trying their best. The government have did their best, but you know, they are, no matter how government did their best, there must be a little gap to fill, which we are responsible to do it ourselves.
Yes.
That's it.
And in the last 12 months, has the situation there, the fighting, has that gotten better or has it gotten worse?
Sorry, the network is breaking. Can you come again?
Um, in the past 12 months, in the past year, has the fighting there got better or has it gotten worse and more concerning?
I didn't get you honestly. The network is kind of louder.
Oh, sorry. Um, in the past 12 months, has the situation there got better or gotten worse?
You say in the last 12 months, the situation is what?
Has it gotten worse or has it improved?
Yeah, it's improved, honestly. It's improved very, very much. It has improved because most of the trades that we used to have in the last 6 months to date, we don't used to have it. We are the one chasing them now. We are the one chasing them now, looking for them wherever they hide, wherever they are, wherever they followed. We are the one following them now to hunt them down.
Yes. And you're hunting down these terrorists and killing them. Are you capturing any of them?
The network is breaking, honestly.
Ah, sorry. Um, and you're hunting them down and killing them. Are you capturing any?
Come again?
Are you capturing any of these people, or are you just killing them?
Yeah, we used to capture them. Most of them are in prison. We used to capture many of them.
Yes.
And in the last 5 months, uh, more than more than more than 20,000 of the terrorists have surrendered. They have surrendered to the higher authority.
Right. So in the last 5 months, there's been 20,000 people from ISIS surrender in Nigeria.
Yeah, yeah, they have surrendered. More than 20,000 have surrendered because they have blocked their ways of logistic and some other supplies. They are starved with hunger and financial issues. So they have to surrender because we have blocked all the financial incomes way and supply and logistic other stuff.
And where was this supply and logistic coming from?
Yeah, most of them were collab with the local civilians, threatening them. They used to kidnap some of the civilians' relatives and give them money. Okay, if you fulfill this mission for us, we will release your siblings to you, or else we kill him. So that's how they used to threaten the civilians.
Yes. And are you seeing these horrific acts like them beheading civilians and things like that?
Sorry, come again.
Are you seeing ISIS commit horrific acts as far as like beheading people and how common is this?
Yeah, they used to commit those atrocities. This happened more than 100 times, killing innocent civilians for no reason, because they refuse to resist to collaborate with them or give them information about the military. They will just come and kidnap or kill the innocent civilians.
Yes. And what is next for yourself?
Sorry, come again.
What is next for yourself? What are you doing? What are you doing next?
After,
I guess within the next few months, what does your life look like? What does your job look like for the coming weeks?
well, in the next coming weeks, I think something good will come up. Yeah, I'm pretty sure something good will come up.
Yes. Well, look, thank you very much for speaking with me. I really, really appreciate it. Is there anything else you think is important for people to know about this conflict?
Well, I think this is the best way, this is what I want, awareness. Let people know what is going on in West Africa, especially Nigeria, Mali, and Burkina Faso. We are having serious issue of ISIS campaign. Last 2 months, uh, they sent an information to their Khalifa in Syria and other countries that they should come and support them in African campaign.
Yeah, so there'll be
So I think this is what I want people to know, that those people from Syria, Libya, other countries where ISIS operates, they are relocating to come and reinforce the ISIS fighters in Africa.
that
Yeah,
is that is crazy.
yeah, that's it. So this awareness, I think we will continue to share it until we achieve the goal.
Yes. And that goal being driving ISIS out of West Africa.
Yeah. They are calling their fighters. They should come and support them. They should come and fight with them in Africa, like in Nigeria, Burkina Faso, Mali, and some other countries in West Africa.
Yes. Are you fighting beside any international special forces?
Sorry, come again?
Are there any other international special forces there, like the Australians, the French, the Americans? Any special forces groups operating with you?
No, none.
None. Because I'm aware that some of them are operating within Mali, but not in Nigeria.
Yeah. Between the borders, they are between the borders between Mali, Niger, Chad, and Cameroon. Some of them are there.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Abubakar, thank you for speaking to me. I really appreciate it, and I'm very glad we got to do this.
Thank you very much, Williams. I really appreciate for you coming up with this idea so that we can help, because this help is not going for me alone, but for other humans who are suffering from this incident.
Yes.
Because I'm a military special force, I have something to protect myself, but the other people who are the locals don't have anything to protect themselves. They don't have access to media where they can call for any support or any other stuff. But I have this media, and I'm a professional soldier. Being in the battlefield, I have more 75% of equipment to protect myself, but I really care about the innocent civilians who can't do anything about their safety. And thank you very much for bringing up this idea. You help a lot.
No, thank you, brother. Is there anything people can do to support yourself and your mission?
Well, for now, some other little stuff, I think it will help, honestly. Maybe helmet, chest ring, jacket. I think it will support, honestly.
Yes. Okay, and we'll sort out your people to access you and share your story and everything through the in the description. We'll have your Instagram. Look, thank you so much. I really appreciate it, and you stay safe and keep soldiering.
Thank you very much, brother. I really appreciate it.
Okay, thank you, brother. I'll see you in Nigeria, hopefully soon.
All right, thank you very much. I will be glad to meet you, honestly.
Oh, it'll be fantastic, brother. I look forward to it. It'll be my pleasure.
My pleasure. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you, brother.
All right. Thank you.
Bye.
September 12th, I and my team were assigned to carry out a routine task, which is fighting patrol in our area of responsibility. It is morning time, and we are all happy our operation allowance was paid. You know that joy that moves you to the high. We are all happy, singing more, happy, playing with each other as usual. We are all highly motivated due to the allowance was paid unexpected. You know, we must be happy that the government surprised us by paying our operation allowance unexpected. Yeah, so we are all happy. By 1600 hours, the commander came and told us that, gentlemen, we have to move. It is time now. So we are all happy. Guys took up their arms. The MG man, the RPG guys all pick up their arms. We are all embossed inside we all embossed into our vehicles. Some inside the MRAP, some inside the gun trucks. So, you know, all those places, honestly, they are very dangerous around the Gambaru Isaacs. It's very, very, very dangerous, honestly, because those useless terrorists over that place are suicide. They usually put landmines and suicide bombers whenever they want to commit their terror act. So we left the camp with full fighting capability and rugged men who are ready to fight and give their all. I really trust my team, honestly. They are we are all fighters, like guys that are ready to do everything for the sake of this nation. As we are moving, the other guy was telling me that Moses was telling me that his wife gave birth last week. He need to went home and see his newborn baby. So I told the twice in the vehicle, like, this guy need to go and see his family, honestly, because his mind is not here. You know, whenever you have family issues, your mind will not be at the front line, like your mind will not be at rest at all. You guys to go and see your family and take a look of your newborn baby and your wife. So this guy, his mind was actually not in the fit, honestly, because he's busy thinking. That's why I asked him, that guy, what's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? That's how the guy Moses narrated to me that honestly this that he need to go and see his family. I say, okay, no problem. Hopefully when we come back from this patrol, I will let the twice know that this is the situation going on in your family. You need to go and see them, honestly, because it has been long he went home, like for over 2 months plus. Yeah, because we usually went home like every quarterly. After 3 months, you need to go and see your family for a while before you come back to the field. So I promised him that whenever we come back, you will go and see your family by God's grace. As usual, I even promised one of the soldiers, one of the SF, Ibrahim, that when we come back, the two of you, I will take your issues to the higher authorities so that they will look on it. Because the best motivation is for you to allow a soldier to went and sort out 1 or 2 issues that is happening in his family or his wife. Because sometimes someone need to iron the stuff if you want him to focus, like to give his to focus in the battle. He need to go and settle what is wrong in his family or between him and his wife. So I usually do that for them so that to make all of them happy, keep their morale alive. So as we are moving like 50 meters ahead of us, we saw a villager was farming in his farm. So I was like, oh my God. In my mind I was discussing like, no, I don't trust this person, because in this thick forest a person will isolate himself in the name of he came for farming. No. I was okay, no problem, let us just move. So not knowing that person that we passed is an informer to the ISIS. So we passed like 200 meters. Then we saw doors coming from far distance. I was like, no, gentlemen, be ready. It is going to happen. It is gonna happen. Not knowing that they already laid their ambush. Those one coming from far distance are their reinforcement to come and reinforce them. The next thing we had is the first vehicle was attacked with landmine. That vehicle rolled to the side of the road. That's where 2 soldiers were injured before we start exchanging fire with the terrorists. God so kind, we overpowered them and we start chasing them, fire and movement. We are able to, at that spot, we are able to fire like seven of them to seize their weapons. The rest took off, start calling their reinforcement, while the reinforcement flank through the right, where our last vehicle, the two of our last vehicle stopped and flanked to the left to cover us, because it was very serious firing. It was very serious ambush, honestly. Like, I don't even think that I will survive it, because those people have already flanked very well, and it is mountainous terrain. There is mountain ahead beside of the road, so they used the opportunity of that mountain to cover the place. It was forced to stop ambush, because we have to stop and fight, honestly, because they already blocked the road that will link us to the other village. We have to stop and fight. We have to stop and fight. We have no any other option than to stop and fight, because there is a heavy volume of fire, honestly. Heavy volume of fire. They deploy their mortars ahead of the mountain, because after the ambush they are still firing mortar at us. That's where we all disperse and took cover, because we know their tactics. But you know, ambush is something that you can't predict. You can't predict ambush because it's hardly to counter it, honestly, because those people are brutal, those people are heartless. They are very heartless, honestly. We are able to counter it. 2 IED command we are detonated ahead of us, and we are able to counter the ambush through the north. The terrorists flee in this distance. The reinforcement coming from distance, they flee because they saw what is wrong, what is happening with their other terrorist members. So they have to run and leave. They know they must face the same fate if they dare come to reinforce the fight. You know, those idiots, their target was to push us through the bridge. You know, there is a bridge between Gambaru and Kunuba. There is a bridge between that place. So they were trying to force us to the bridge because they have already planned another mine under the bridge. So they want to blow up the bridge. So unfortunately, before the bridge, we already discovered that yes, something is wrong there. That's where we start to fight between the mountain. Heavy fighting. Honestly, we fought more than 40 minutes. We are fighting. We fought more than 40 minutes. Yeah, if I remember, yeah, more than 40 minutes. We really try. Honestly, we only just have three persons we are injured. Those that we are attacked with landmine. That's only people that we have. 3 persons that we are injured, but we have successfully killed more than 7 of the terrorists. We really try our best. Honestly, you know, ambush is very brutal. Honestly. Thank God today we are alive to tell this story so that the world will know that yes, we are doing our best to dismantle the terrorists in our country, in the world entirely, not only our country, because we are not fighting for only our country, but for the humanity. We are fighting to keep this nation safe, to keep everyone safe, fighting for unborn generation, because we need to do this, we need to make this happen. We don't have any word to tell our Nigeria is the only country we have. We have to stand and fight for her. We have to defend her unity and liberty. We have no any other place to go. We have no any other place to go than to stand and fight and keep this nation first. Keep this nation safe. The world is a jungle. You either fight or you run forever. We have to stand and fight. We can't run for cowards, for animals who are trying to destroy this nation. ISIS are animals. They are animals. They are really unbelievers. So they are just doing their rubbish campaigns to brainwash other people, innocent souls, to take them to hell. Because I believe this their campaign they are just doing for rubbish.